we go to Omaha for Greg McDermott's Creighton Bluejays. This was a team that people thought could be a Final Four squad. But John Henson, they have had some struggles. What do you think?
I'm going to go New Year's resolution. This was a little tougher, but I'm going to go attention to detail. They lack the above the rim athleticism that, a lot of these top tier teams have. So when you lack it above the rim, you have to do more below the rim. They missed free throws last night, had 16 turnovers. It seems in these games they struggle, it's always something kind of weird and wonky. They gave up 40 fast break points to UNLV. If they're not making shots, they look kind of normal, which we can say that about a lot of teams, but Creighton is, one of those teams that we expect to be in the top tier of teams in the Big East in the country. So long story short, they need to sit down with each other and say, look, we can't make as many mistakes as we used to. We don't have the talent or athleticism that these other teams that we are playing have. So we got to pay attention to detail, and we'll be all right.
All right, so first thing you got to do, Greg McDermott, next time you retire your son's jersey, Douglas, do it on a night when DePaul is coming to town, not Villanova. All right? That way you're not going to lose the game. All right? So that's number one. Number two, I think somehow you got to find a way to get this team a little bit tougher in the defensive end. They were good against Villanova in the first half, and then Villanova got going in the second half. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Maybe you play like Eye of the Tiger before they all get out of the locker room or something. But I feel like you got to get these guys geared up, not just to score, but to defend. Take pride in your defense because you put too much pressure on Ryan Kalkbrenner. And I don't know why everybody's calling him Kalkbrenner now, by the way. Everywhere I hear, everybody's calling him Kalkbrenner. It's Kalkbrenner, all right? And you're putting all this pressure on poor Ryan Kalkbrenner defensively because these other dudes just aren't taking enough pride, and maybe they're not good enough. Maybe they're not good enough defensively. But I think, and John Henson was a National Player of the Year. You can speak to this. A lot of it is pride and effort. A lot of being great defensively, is it not?
And it's pride and effort, but credit to my team, which was a blessing. I was never kind of coast on offense, and not be super involved, which allowed me to play better defense. So for him to have that defensive load and offensive load, it's as you saw last night in the second half, he kind of faltered a little bit. And I think that's just because too much is put on his shoulder, like Jeff. It's just too much. I mean, like so the Beekman's theory, it's like, what else do you want from him at this point?
I'm with you both. The lack of athleticism is glaring. And if I could untrade someone from the portal, man, I'd still like to see Ryan Nembhard at Creighton. I really would.
Kaluma too.
That move sent ripple effects for both Gonzaga and Creighton. Stephen Ashworth, great kid, awesome guy. It just hasn't fully clicked. So I think the resolution I would be is I'd get Ashworth, Trey Alexander, and Baylor Sharman in a room and say, guys, what's it going to take? What's it going to take for us to find a happy medium?
They got to be tough.
They couldn't get the state guys down there to meet guys to give them some NIL money. Like, what's going on?
Right. Hey, here's the thing. They were in a worse place last year.
Yeah.
And Greg McDermott.
They lost 6 straight, but Kalkbrenner had mono. That was a big part of that one. There's no excuse like that for this one other than the fact that these dudes just aren't. They're not playing with that chip on their shoulder. They're not playing tough. They're not playing mean. Like when Henson gives you the mean mug, that's when you know. That's when you know he's arrived, right? Like big difference. I want to see the mean mug on those dudes.
Mean mug in Omaha. Eat some red meat and develop a mean mug.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.